call it early. Let's bring it in. This is my favorite song. This is my favorite song. I would listen to it every day if given the opportunity. But I can't. It doesn't work like that. Because if I do that, then I can't. It doesn't invoke the spirit of check down the way it could. You know? So you got it sparingly. That's where we're at. Sparingly. Minor. Oh, it's a little bit. That's a couple seconds. Welcome, Waiver Wednesday, streamers, shenanigans. It's Rick, Boom Fantasy, we Liddy. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna go 8 to 10. And maybe we got a jackpot chase. I might hang around for that too. I got nowhere to be. I'm gonna crack open a few Colhuas. We're gonna take a look at week 4. We're gonna talk about week 3. We're gonna talk about our fantasy matchups, where we fell, where we succeeded. We had a really good day picking lineups on Sunday. We smacked it. We had some really good calls. Really like Tyler Boyd. We'll bring him up later. We really liked other things, you know. Saints Falcons, number 1 game, shootout, boot out. 5-team parlay, flat on its face, not even close. How about them Bills? I see hangover in the chat. I see some stuff left over from after the Sunday show about the Bills Vikings. How nice of the Vikings to spot the Bills, 24 points. Too cute. Witty Bants. Yeah, how about that game? How about Josh Allen? How about execution? How about catering an offense towards a player? We could talk about the rookie quarterbacks. I don't have it on the agenda, but I have no problem talking about it because it's an awesome storyline. We're week 4 in. Oh God, woe is my heart, but we're almost 25% of the way through the regular season. Your teams have played 25% of their games already. You waited all year for this. And all these top 10 picks are in the draft. Every single top 10 quarterback is going to start on Sunday. It took a little extra for Baker and Rosen to get there, but once they got on the field, it was undeniable that they are above replacement level quarterback. It's not even close. Eye test, sniff test, call it what you want. They put in Josh Rosen with 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter in a 1-score game. Let me ask you something. If you have enough confidence to go to Rosen, God, I love saying that, by the way. It's your boy. If they have enough confidence to go to Rosie's with 2 minutes left in a 1-score game against Khalil Mack and that defense, why wouldn't they feel confident enough to start him at home? Like, what are you waiting for? Baker, I understand. There's an injury. Hugh Jackson's terrible. The natural, realization is that he wouldn't want to get Baker hurt. Also, their line is terrible. They're starting an undrafted rookie at left tackle. That's the blind leading the blind side. That's what they call that. Before and after. So maybe it's in interest of Baker's health. That's what I want to think, rather than they are just incompetent. Right? That Hugh just doesn't know what he's doing. I would like to hear that it's in the interest of his health because of Tyrod. Claw life. Ooh, we got to turn off low power mode so I can keep the chat up, and then we're gonna go live on Twitter so we can flex on our followers. This is how Waiver Wednesday works. Have I been saying Waiver Wednesday all day? It's freaking Tuesday. Why have I been telling people it's Waiver Wednesday? I think I tweeted that. I think I tweeted Waiver Wednesday. What is wrong with me? I got so jacked up over Monday Night Football. Who am I? What are we? Why are we here? Oh, dag. Let's go live. Let's go live on Twitter because that's where the people are. And then we got to pull up. Oh man, actually I can't. This is really good way to start the show. So I'm going live. I got to turn low power mode off of my phone because low power mode, that's the way to be 90% of the time. You want to be in low power mode. That's like the life to live. Everything else is ultimately problematic for your life. However, keeping Boom Chat open for several hours at a time requires not low power mode. Ja feel? Ja feel. Live. I'm putting out the YouTube. We got things to cover. Can I not flip this? Swipe down to stop. Double tap to flip camera. There it is. Reppin' Boom live. Oh, shaky. Everyone loves a shaky camera to start. Someone actually asked me about this shirt today. Someone asked me on the street about this shirt because it was raining. And I was repping. This is Franklin Barbecue, #1 place I've ever eaten in my life. What's going on Twitter? We're actually on the app right now, the Boom Fantasy app. Live streaming, waiver questions, streamers for week 4. We're going to talk about the odds. We're going to talk about the early slate Boom Fantasy contest. I got a little shine on Twitter. My guy put some makeup on. The lighting is crazy. But thanks for popping in. We're also going to look at baseball playoffs because nobody's been watching baseball in 4 weeks. Football's been going on, and I personally have no idea what's happening. I was watching baseball every day for 3 years, and I haven't seen a single pitch in a month. Then we're going to talk about the jerseys. We are giving signed jerseys away. It's called the Boom Box. We're going to press it multiple times throughout this stream. Again, if you're watching on Twitter, we are live on the Boom Fantasy app. Link to download in bio. I always wanted to say that. And then we'll do Keep Trade Cut because that's a segment that is totally original. Nobody's ever done that fantasy football segment before. Keep Trade Cut. It is a wholly unique segment that I have conceived and is super original. Ice. That was the best. I'm not going to throw the YouTube video up because we're getting problematic, but when he was like, it's not the same. Vanilla Ice was trying to defend Ice Ice Baby from Under Pressure, and he goes, theirs goes ding, 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 digga, ding, 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 digga, ding, ding. And he goes, ours is not the same. Ours goes ding, 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 digga, ding, 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 digga, ding, ding. Iconic MTV moment. Everybody knows about that. Vanilla Ice, one of the greatest. Shout outs. If there's a problem, I'll solve it. First one to finish the line in chat gets a mighty dollar ticket. Gary Sanchez, 3-run dong. I'm trying to pull up Boom Chat. I got Twitter repping. What's going on, party people? We're doing waivers. We're doing streamers. Here's how this works. I take questions. I talk. And then I talk into the camera. And I shoot our Wednesday video with you to your viewing pleasure, and then I come back and we chop it up and we talk nonsense for the next hour. There we go, Paulie Boats. Give me. I gotta check Boom Chat. I might have to give 2 away right now, but let me get your Boom username, man. Paulie, let me get your Boom username. I'm all about that life. Hell yeah, boss. Man, this 6 Plus. I do love a good iPhone, but I need to trade in the 6 Plus because it is definitely a 6. Out of 10. What was the biggest non-Bills surprise? Should I sell Pat Mahomes high? I don't think so. I think we're in for a season, man. I think we're in for a season. I don't see him slowing down. I just don't see it happening. I don't see him getting figured out. We could be in for 40 touchdowns. Like we could be in for Kurt Warner 99. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he's a game breaker with game-breaking talent. So I think that it's fair to expect the most. King's Ransom. Todd Gurley plus maybe. Maybe just Gurley, but King's Ransom. Have we heard Pat Mahomes talk, by the way? We've all heard Pat Mahomes talk, right? Can I get Pat Mahomes' voice up here? Am I going to get in trouble immediately? Where's the Boom Chat? My Boom Chat's lit. Twitter is lit. Bow, 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 bow. I needed... Patrick Mahomes talks. He's got the craziest voice. Listen to Patrick Mahomes talk.
Yeah, my heart was pounding pretty fast. I mean, it really was.
I don't
awesome
understand how
experience.
he
I mean,
sounds
these
like that.
fans, The passion that they have is unmatched anywhere else. And so,
He sounds like a frog chewing rocks.
the tunnel for the first time. I mean, yeah, my heart was pounding pretty.
Yeah, my heart. Yeah, my heart.
Yeah, my heart was pounding pretty fast.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my heart was pounding pretty.
That is awful. Chewing rocks hard. No, but I would not be trading him. I'm hanging on to Pat Mahomes. Big time offer. Big time offer is the only way I'm dealing Mahomes, and that's fine. It's really just all about momentum, execution. It's not that he's an amazing quarterback. It's everything. It's the talent around him. It's the execution. It's the offense. But we talk about that play to the side of the end zone the side corner play. That is a very small percentage of quarterbacks are making that play, right? So we're talking about a guy that is as talented as anybody in the league. That's just the way we're at. So his value it's almost at a priceless point. You have to get the absolute nuts for him. Understand that quarterback is one of the more replaceable positions, right? So I'm saying if he's throwing Gurley, snag that Gurley, bro. Snag that Gurley. But we're talking about 3 touchdown basement for a guy like Mahomes. We're talking about starting with 3 touchdowns and rushing upside. Boom, dog. That's a little tough to ignore, right? That's a little tough to ignore. So while I understand the value of Mahomes is ethereal right now, you won't find a more valuable player in any fantasy sport. At his position, we can go elsewhere. Look at Matt Ryan threw 5 touchdowns. Matt Ryan was a 10th round pick. You know what I mean? Matt Ryan, you could have gotten in a trade before that game, right? Tradable. Now wonder if Matt Ryan's going to be tradable. It's a different story, right? Crushing in the red zone. Sketchy week 1. Now crushing in the red zone. Bucktooth Nutsack is my boom fantasy name. Is it really? Because that's phenomenal. I mean, it's only going to cost you if it's not. But that's amazing. Bucktooth Nutsack. I'm going to save that. You just trying to get me to say it? With a C. That's unbelievable. I can't believe that we don't have some sort of system that flags that. That is fantastic. He said, just say my name. Honestly, full disclosure, he said, this word is my boom username. I would have said anything he said. He said, this is my boom username. I would have Ron Burgundy the shit out of that comment just now. I would have burgundied it so hard. I don't even want to say the things that I would have said because that's how bad it would have been. Does that make sense? Don't answer that. So I want to chat. I want to hang with you, hang in boom chat, live a little, and then we'll do top pickups, top waiver pickups, top streamers. There aren't a lot. It's bad. But the fun part is that bye weeks are starting this week, right? So fantasy skill is about to get really tested. Your depth is about to get really tested. And I wanted to touch on depth when it comes to fantasy show in the first part of today, because on Sunday I came through like gangbuster talking about the league is a new league. It's a passing league. Running backs are stupid. And I want to touch on that because I always maintain that drafting a lot of running backs is optimal. But there's a caveat. It's not because they're all so good. It's not because they're all so exceptional. It's because of the value and the amount of them relative to the amount of them available, right? It's about the value of what's left in the pile after all the starters are claimed. It's about X amount of quality, valuable running backs available in fantasy football. That's why we say stockpile running backs. Because I'm coming out here, I'm about to do a waiver video on receivers, and it has no running backs in it. Because what running back are you going to pick up? I'm going to tell you to go pick up Darren Sproles like it's a smart move. What are you, 14-team league? Full point PPR? Maybe. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's the wave. You know what I mean? I just remembered another name I got to add here. Crushing it. That's a stealio. I love that. I'm going to get questions about that guy on Sunday. Teasies. All right, we're down to 5 people on Twitter, so I'm probably going to fire back off. Let me retweet it. Boop, boop, ba, boop, boop. Ba boop boop boop. But what were we singing the other night? We were singing that crazy song on the show. Let's go. So yeah, so we talk about trades. We'll record the video, then we'll talk about trade targets, and that cuts both ways. People that we want to trade for and people that we're willing to give away right now, because value is week to week at this point, right? But we have some preconceived notions about players, like a Larry Fitzgerald. Like, what do we do with that? You know? So we have to figure out where the value is relative to other people in our league and relative to our needs and our rosters. Then we're going to look at the odds for the first time. I haven't fully looked at the odds for week 4. I've been breaking down week 3. Then we're going to look at the first look on the Boom early slate. I don't have it up in a graphic in the app, but I should. While we have it on my other phone, we'll look at the Boom early slate, $1 million. And we got 2 jerseys I want to show to you. We're giving away signed memorabilia with Boom Fantasy, right? It's your boy Rick Rosen, Boom Fantasy. What's up? So we're giving away signed jerseys for Boom Fantasy. I have more than I'm supposed to have because I don't know what a budget is, right? So in that, we pass it to you, and I'm willing to reveal facts about, I'm willing to talk about 2 of the players that we got because I'm excited. I briefly meaning like 3-5 hours, considered just keeping all the signed merch for myself and flipping because there's enough. And I was impressed enough by the names. I couldn't really believe what I was getting, you know? And now I'm excited. I was picturing my own man cave with like a hall of champions, you know? But instead, we're just going to give them to the Boom users, right? That's the way to do it. Because y'all deserve it. And how do you do that? You do that by checking out the Boom Box, right? We know what the Boom Box is. That's what you get for watching streams and hanging out with Boom Fantasy. Right? It's the number one way to connect with your boy and your show. We're running a graphic in the app right now. You got to be watching in the Boom app. It's free to download. Apple, Android, link in bio. Number 1 fantasy game, fast on fantasy game, healthy fantasy game, strong fantasy game. Fantasy game strong. Someone commented, how are you supposed to answer all those DMs when you're periscoping? Yeah, man. I mean, well, we'll take the heat. I totally understand. How am I supposed to answer all those DMs? I've been answering some DMs about fantasy advice. That's cool. It's lit. It is what it is. We got a rep. We're out here. But if you're watching in the Boom app, this is what you see. You got to get down with the Boom Box. You deposit into your Boom account. You send a screenshot to me, rick@boomfantasy.com. You'll get hooked up with a chance to win Boom apparel, Boom swag, an autographed jersey from pristineauction.com, and not just any jersey. They are good. And a random bobblehead from eBay. That's less good. We will get to that later. We can go bobblehead shopping. I got no problem going bobblehead shopping. You got to get in to win. We're going to start pulling these things, and you're going to see other people. Whoa, Jesus. You're going to see, the stream started on my thing. You're going to see other people win jerseys. Where is that happening? Oh my God, that's my other phone. I'm literally got so much media in front of me that I hear my voice like 5 times over. It's sick. It's my ex-girlfriend says it's like my dream to just hear myself talk all day. Lit. You get an autographed jersey from pristineauction.com. I spent way too much money and to get the first bobblehead we can get off of eBay. That's facts. We go to eBay, we search bobblehead, ending soonest, and that's what we get. We put it in the box. That's yours. There's nothing else that you can do about it, right? Is this it? Oh, are we doing this? Oh, are we doing this? When are we doing this? Let's save that for 8:45. Wow. Wow. That's real. That's a real one. Oh man, I skipped a thing. I skipped a slide. Slides are dope. Slides are dope. All right. Oh. Let's get ready to pop off on this video. We got to get rid of that. That's a problem. Boop, boop, ba, boop, ba, boo. I guess I could just put white over it. I'll fix it. I'm working on production in the app, because if you're watching on Twitter, you should be watching on the Boom Fantasy app, because that's where the action is. That's where the party's at. That's where it's most lit, is on the Boom Fantasy app. I mean, like 99% of the time. Twitter's a cesspool. You're on Twitter, you know. But if you're in the app, you know it's a jam, brah. You know it's straight jam all day. It's one long darty, even into the night. That's a real thing. A night darty. Yeah, I was wearing my shirt today, and some old lady was like, Did you really go to Franklin Barbecue, or did you just have a shirt? And I'm in Midtown, so I just hear this old lady with an accent, and I just melt. Like, bless your heart, but in the nice way. Like, ugh, what cloud did you fall from? And I told her, I said, no, I ate, and then I waited online, had the best meal of my life, and then the next day was the hurricane that destroyed Houston. It was a real thing. So I got out while I could. And that restaurant, Franklin Barbecue, had bad wind damage, and they had to close for a little bit afterwards. That's an anecdote. I mean, anecdotes are usually funny. That's just a boring story, I guess, if you're watching on Twitter and in the Boom Fantasy app. What's up? 8 to 10, taking your questions, waivers, streamers, trades, fantasy football, odds, etc. I made y'all some money on Sunday, though. My advice was crushing, except for the parlays. Except for the parlay, except for telling you to put your whole balance on the Vikings, except for telling you the Vikings wouldn't score, or the Bills wouldn't score. We took Bills under 12.5 team total. That seemed like a good bet at the time. If you take away everything Vikings related, I think we had a really good show. I mean, we said Thielen would go over 100 yards. So, like, even not... And I said fade Murray in DFS. I need to go dig that clip up, because I 1,000,000% said fade Murray in DFS. I felt great about it. And what do you know? He putzed. He putzed it up. So, your boy's out here, really putting in the work, really out here soaking up the knowledge, passing along hot takes. It's the take cycle. Remember, they say it, I hear it, I mix swears in between, and then it comes out as my own fact. That's the hot take wheel. That's the cycle. That's what we live upon. From the day we arrived on this planet. If you get that reference, shout out. I saved your user, Paulie. I saved your user. You get a... Where are we at on the Boom chat? We out here, man. Memester, where you at? UW Danger, where you at? Shawnee Mac, where you at? Living large. Claw life. So let's go over some of the players I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm going to talk about Tyler Boyd. I mentioned him on the show on Sunday. Snap share over 90%. Number one targeted receiver on when Andy Dalton is under pressure. AJ Green banged up. Tyler Boyd's going to be a dude, right? Dude. Highly touted prospect, TCU. Kenny Golladay, if you can get him, I don't think you can get him anymore. I think you missed the boat there. Sorry, Bari. But the Lions could have 3,000-yard receivers this year. I wonder what the odds are on that. I wonder if that's ever been done. There's no way that's ever been done. 3 1,000-yard receivers? Fat chance, dogs. No way. No way. I'm going to talk about Antonio Callaway. First-round talent. First-round talent, okay? Head case gets a head right. Big play potential. Big play potential, and now increased outlook potential. Every Brown gets an upgrade. I said it on Sunday. Every Brown gets an upgrade. Even the defense. Only the coach is holding them back now. They always had an excuse. Always had an excuse. Now they're back. Tyler Eifert. Healthy. Offense is dealing. I know I'm just giving you 2 Bengals, but they got a nice schedule coming up. They got a cute schedule coming up, so we can back the Bengals offense for a couple of weeks and have a nice midseason to support us during the bye weeks, because depth can be an issue. You know? Not like we're not ride or dying with these guys, but they are going to help us win games this season. Basically like Tyler Eifert, right? Not our star, but he's going to help us win games this season. Dallas Goedert is the last guy. Slow start to the season. It's less about Goddard and more about Phillies' lack of weapons and Carson Wentz and their willingness to protect him and his usage to tight ends, right? That's just correlation. It's so much less about, about individual skill. And I think if as you watch football, you learn that, it's so much more matchup dependent than most people think about football. And that's what makes fantasy football so fascinating week to week, especially DFS, because all players are elite. It's just about matchups and situational football. That's the cool stuff. I don't know why it's taking me so long to have one box score. Good gosh. September 23rd, 2018. Found it. I just want targets, my guys. Do we still do targets? Yep, targets in the app. Yeah, just like I thought. 17 targets to tight ends for Carson Wentz. That's a start. Should have had that number on deck, but I will for the video. That's why this works so well, right? I'm going to spit it so real in the video. Like, how did he come up with that? It's because I'm doing it now. That's the legwork. I take questions, we hang out, we give away some prizes, we tease, and then we bust down videos. Like, what? I'm probably going to shut down Twitter vid in a little bit. I want to focus on my app users because they are numero uno and numero dos. Sorry, tracers. And then we'll move on from there in our last hour, hang out, tease a boombox, and get going from there. So let's finish up talking about the players I want to do, and then we'll do the streamers, and then 8:40 we'll tease the first boombox, and then we will shoot this video. If you're still watching on Twitter, I'm going to kick you off right now. Boom Fantasy app, free to download. DM me, I'll hook you up with a free entry because you're watching on Twitter. You watch the stream, you're a friend of the show, you're a friend of mine. Have a good night, Twitter. Bye. Swipe down to stop. You got it. Bang. What's our stats? We peaked at 22 viewers 30 seconds after watching. Wow. Way to go, gang. Twitter, I think Twitter live streaming is semi-viable, but I always wonder if the person who was streaming on Twitter constantly, if they were just streaming on YouTube and pushing their following there, if ultimately that would be more successful for them. That's how I interpret it. That if the pool were large, if you're making a big wave in your pool, imagine what you would do in the ocean. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Is that a good one? Did I do a good one? Watch me open up my newer iPhone, and I have like the Boom chat is alive and thriving, and I just haven't even noticed for 1 second. That would be a real Schlemiel move, which is of course on brand AF. 3 legs of a tripod. This phone thing has bothered me. Lifestyle. Boom TV. That's me. Nope. Nobody hanging. That's okay. We're still out here. And available for you. Let me know if you're here. I'm here for you. I think chat is improved. We were talked about working on it. Yeah, let me get into the streamers for week 4. Defenses and quarterbacks that you can pick up, execute, get a nice little play out of them. The first defense is the Seahawks, right? The Seahawks defense hasn't performed to their reputation at the start of the season, but they still did a great job putting pressure on Dallas on Sunday. Frank Clark is a name you probably don't know about because you just don't follow Seahawks football, but that is one of the best defensive edge rushers in the league, and he's just got an unspectacular name. Like Von Miller is such a cooler name, but Frank Clark is a very much a real one, and you'll want to get him in your lineup. Damn, I got a thing going. I got a people. I got a people popping, and I'm about to do a video. What's up, gang? Say hello. Say the thing. All right, lifestyle. So the Seahawks do have a pass rush, even if they don't have the same secondary. So going against Josh Rosen, he is at home, but there's a lot of upside there because you're taking a rookie quarterback in their debut. Can he be good? Of course. But if you're looking for a cheap defense, it's 100% there for you. Refresh chat. Wah. The second defense I recommend is the Packers. Josh Allen had a good game against Minnesota, right? He put things together. They put in nice plays for him, easy throws. He ran. The Packers have a week to prepare, study that limited play set, right? Because rookie quarterbacks don't use the full playbook. They have a slice of the playbook that maximizes their skill set, right? So the Packers can focus on those plays, work on a counter, and get them at home in Green Bay. That's a great matchup. Packers D probably available. Clay Matthews would have 2 extra sacks that have been turned into rough in the passer penalties, so you got to think the ceiling is a little bit higher than it could be in terms of what their output should have been the past couple weeks. And the third, you probably can't get the Chargers defense right now, but just in case you can get the Chargers defense right now, they're playing the 49ers, man, and the 49ers are cooked. C.J. Beathard starting for San Fran. I understand it's Kyle Shanahan's system, but C.J. Beathard ain't got it. And if you ain't getting it by now, boy, you just ain't got it. So the Chargers, if unspectacular, will have their way with C.J. Beathard, or they should. It would be a massive disappointment if they didn't, right? So they should. So if you can get the Chargers D, maybe someone dropped them after they've been getting decimated. People thought they were a good defense. I wanted to ride with them. The value was high, believe it or not. And then Bosa was in a boot, and I wanted nothing to do with them. But waxed by the Chiefs, waxed by the Rams. Not even waxed as in like gave up a lot of points. Showed that they couldn't get stops, right? And that's more discouraging than like Tampa. Like Tampa got hung last night for 30 points. But they also shut down Antonio Brown in the second half and got a lot of stops, right? So there's two sides of the poor defense coin there. Like, can you step up when it counts? The Chargers haven't stepped up at all. We're in week 3. But C.J. Beathard. So if they were going to get it, much like Seattle, they're not an elite defense, but they are in a very good spot. And that's what we stream against. We stream matchups, my guy. Matchups. I got 2 quarterbacks to stream. Savage. Oh, Tom Savage going to start? Yo, the quarterbacks, they're working out. Kellen Clemens, Tom Savage. Yo, they're working out assistant coaches to be Jimmy G's replacement, Shawnee. That's unbelievable. Oh, Shawnee. Oh, I thought you said Tom Savage, and he's talking about himself. Oh, my God. Yeah, thank you. I'll be here all week. Yeah, man. You talk about Dem Bills. Hey, Shawnee, if I remember correctly, you put your whole life on a Kirk Cousins rushing touchdown, so I'm not really sure if you should even be talking about how savage you are. But yes, Tom Savage, maybe back in the league. Remember when his agent was like, my client was unfairly pulled for Deshaun Watson, and then Watson threw like 5 touchdowns? God, football's awesome. I love football. I'm so happy it's back. Like we're in the swing of it. We got 2 weeks till London games start. That's where we're at. We are in football season, fully. First streaming quarterback's Baker Mayfield. We're going for it, baby. You saw Thursday night. He looked the part. He's got a quick release. He's got accuracy, and he's not afraid to take shots. He lit the Jets up. If you look at his throw chart, if you look at what he did with the ball, his receivers let him down on a couple plays. He lit the Jets up, right? Now he gets the Raiders, who got driven on by Jared Goff, Case Keenum, and got torched deep by Ryan Tannehill. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. It's a team without a terrifying pass rush, right? So without a marquee edge rusher, it's a perfect time to get Baker in there so he can sit in the pocket, not be forced to run, and make plays. Any worthy pickups on London's new team? Ronald Jones. Oi, Ronald Jones, running back for the London Claymores. That was Scotland. Scottish was the Claymores. Did London have a football team? Did London have... This is Wikipedia. We can legally Wikipedia this. NFL Europe. Show me teams. Okay, here we go. I forgot that there were North American teams in NFL Europe. London, England. Oh, the Monarchs. So original. And they were red. Played at White Hart Lane. Oh, they had a regional rivalry with the Scottish Claymores. Who was their leading players? England Monarchs. Reevaluate the team's situation in the market. Home games at Crystal Palace National Sports Center. Yikes. Most of the Monarchs players were young players that signed from a developmental league. The league paid the players' salaries. A few players, a European extradition was played. The league rules required the participation of at least one player of European extraction on every other series of 4 downs. I had no idea that was a rule. That's insane. The kicker, the league points leader in 1991 was Phil Alexander, kicker of the Monarchs, who is currently chief executive of Crystal Palace Football Club. That is awesome. The first, oh wow, Victor Ubukabide. Victor, let's do this right. Victor Ububadike. I like that. I soft toss that. Let's do it right. Victor Ububadike, a phenom, became the first European to score a touchdown in 1991. Notable players for the Monarchs. It took us so long to get there. So these players played for the Monarchs. William the Refrigerator Perry, Obafemi Ayambadeyo. That's awesome. Doug Marrone and Brad Johnson played for the London Monarchs. That's fantastic. Shut up. Dedrick Dodge, a special teams maven who went on to win Super Bowls rings with the Niners and Broncos, and LeVar Ball, a tight end whose sons play basketball, including Lonzo Ball. Yo, did you think LeVar Ball was going to get into the show today? Are you serious? LeVar Ball played for the England Monarchs. How are you not freaking out right now? That is fantastic. That is fantastic. What a great day. What a great day. LeVar Ball played tight end for the London Monarchs. Dad, that's awesome. What was the Monarchs' record? Undefeated. Never lost. Undefeated. Never lost. All right. That was me trying to talk about Baker Mayfield as a streaming option, and I'm not really sure what happened. I think I blacked out. Oh, Shawnee Mack asked about London's new team, and I got carried away. Sorry, Shawnee. Well, I'm not sorry at all. I'm not sorry at all. But the other, so Baker's going to be fine. How did I get there? Just Shawnee Mack took me to London. That's it. Okay. The other one's Eli. Eli Manning can get a start this week, I think. I think that's totally fine. They got the Saints at home. Saints got torched by Matt Ryan last week. Saints secondary is no bueno. The Saints get beat deep. The Saints get beat in man coverage. The Giants beat the Texans by playing empty set. Hallelujah. You know, it's funny because we talk about new offenses and coaches coming in and executing new offenses, and then there's off-season OTAs, and there's scrimmages, and then there's preseason games. You know what you don't get? You don't get starter on starter extended game speed plus strategy plus execution. You don't get you don't know how it's going to work in the game until you play the game. That's my favorite part about football. It's not like comedy in that regard, right? Like basketball, I can work on my free throw, and then when I get to the free throw line, I get fouled. Victor Ovo booty scoop. Yeah, he's a booty scoop for sure. I don't know how older that is. I mean, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I don't know how much it's refreshing. I love y'all. What was I saying? So you never really get a clear indication of how your offense is going to run, right? So now the Giants need a couple games to figure it out. And I think they turned a corner against the Texans. Dan Duggan, the Giants beat writer for The Athletic, was talking about how the Giants ran empty, just Eli in the backfield, 8 times against the Texans. Eli was 7 for 7 with 1 J.J. Watt sack in that game. Torched. Wild efficient. Guys getting open. You guys want to watch a video about it? Let's watch a video about it. I don't know if this is an empty set. I just know this is a Baldy breakdown. It's not an empty set. If you don't know Brian Baldinger, he is smart. Here we go.
Third down with under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Pat Shurmur had Odell Beckham going in motion.
Third down,
Texans,
2 minutes to go in the second.
An indicator to Eli that the Texans were in man coverage.
Moves Beckham over,
The Giants run
gets the read that it's man
two-man
coverage.
screen at Odell to get him free up in the middle of the field.
Set up a crossing pattern to free
Odell
Odell.
had quite a day from Eli. 9 catches on the 10 targets.
Look at this. Odell's got
Easy
separation
throws
out of
just
control.
Like this.
Look at that.
Out space for Odell so that after the catch,
Boom.
do what he does
Peace.
best. Run with the ball. 30 yards later, the Giants were marching before the half.
Love it. Love it. God, I love this man. This man is genius. All right, let's talk about the boombox. Let's do one boombox reveal because the people are clamoring. That's amazing, Shawnee Mac. I hope you learned something today. That's so funny. I noticed late because the chat is a little bit delayed and my reaction time is in superhuman, right? So I just a late reaction. I just went with it. I hope you learned a lot about NFL Europe today. You used to be able to play as those teams in like Madden 2001 definitely had them because I used to beat up on them all the time. The Rhine Fire were the worst. I used to beat up on the Rhine Fire. I used to be like the all EA Sports development team against the Rhine Fire. I used to hang like 88 on them on the Reggie. Rhine Fire, so good. You ever just like when you were little, like see how many points you could score in a game and then be like, I threw for 600 yards passing and 9 touchdowns. I'm a god. We all did that. You don't have to hide it. But yeah, Oliver Luck was the first commissioner of NFL Europe. It started as the World League. That's what the Wikipedia was saying. The World League, so it had North American teams and then European teams. But I didn't even know about that European rule stipulation. I didn't even know about that. That is interesting. That's like there's another thing that's like that where you have to have, I mean, I know in Europe you have to have a domestic player on the team. But I think also in Little League you have to have a player play. I don't know. It's not a fair thing, the Little League, because it's not everybody plays. It's about substitutions, and it's definitely way easier to substitute in football. But that's crazy. I had no idea. Dogging it. Oh, my Mac's about to die. That's actually really bad. We might have to take a commercial break, watch a video. I grab another drink. I get my MacBook charger. You never know. All right, let's do that. That'll work really well because you know I love a good buzz before I get a video. It's cold ones on ice. So, what I wanted to say was we're getting into the nitty-gritty for the boombox, y'all. Nitty-gritty. Nitty-gritty. That means we're finally getting ready to start to pull them. I have no packaging, but I'm getting ready to pull one because I am eager to give things away to you. I want you to have cool things. So you send me a deposit screenshot. Deposit into your Boom account during a live stream. You send me a screenshot. Say, Rick, bang, I did it. Rick@boomfantasy.com. I know you got an email. It's 2018. You can ask me anything you want. You get an emoji on the board behind me. We're already repping Pineapple Life, thanks to my boy Armal. Then you get enter to win the boombox, and we're starting to pull the drawings soon. After week 4, doors open. This was the prep phase. Now it's time for the launch phase. Who doggy? What do you get in the boombox? You get Boom apparel. You get to rock Boom in the street. You get Boom swag. Maybe it's a bottle opener. Maybe it's a magnet. Maybe it's remember, you know those things that open envelopes that look like dull knives? Maybe it is a knife. Maybe it's a pocket knife. Maybe it's a Swiss Army knife, but nothing sharp. It's just got like a can opener and a corkscrew and a screwdriver, like a really bad one. It's not. But you get Boom swag. Then you get an autographed jersey from Pristine Auctions. We'll get back to that. Then you'll get a random bobblehead on the show. We will Google bobblehead and buy some. We don't know what it will be. It will be determined by the universe because we won't draw it until it's time to draw it. No research goes into that portion. Research went into the other stuff. No research goes into the bobblehead. it's a global entertainment experience because everybody wants to see what random bobblehead we get, and nobody knows. The curiosity peaks. It's peaks. I had a budget at Pristine Auction. I really did. I was only supposed to spend X dollars, and I spent XXX dollars. It got sexual. And I ended up with jerseys that people want. Let's just talk about one of the jerseys that's in the boombox. Certificate of Authenticity. It is 1,000,000% real. Oh, you can tell on the app that that's like white on white, huh? It's not even close to good. Actually, maybe if you turn night mode off, you can't. Actually, don't know. That's provocative, but it definitely does. It looks like white on white for sure. Or white on off-white. This jersey that I have in the boombox, it's an Offensive Rookie of the Year. He won that award. There's only one per year, but that's not all. This signed autographed jersey that I have in the boombox, they won Offensive Player of the Year. They held it down. And not in the same season. They had a career. Right? 5 first team All-Pro at their position. The person whose autograph, Certificate of Authenticity's jersey I have and I'm willing to give away in the boombox for just depositing into your boom account made 5 first team All-Pros. And you know what that means? You know what happens when you're an Offensive Rookie of the Year, an Offensive Player of the Year, and you're number 1 at your position 5 times? You're a Hall of Famer. There's a Hall of Fame autographed player going into the boombox. Did you think I was fucking around, family show? I'm giving you real things to win. I told you it was going to be a good prize. It's a good ass prize. I need deposit screenshots. rick@boomfantasy.com. It doesn't matter how much you deposit as long as you deposit, because whatever you deposit will not equal the value of what I'm putting in this box. You understand? And that's just the bobblehead. No, I'm kidding. But there's a Hall of Fame signed jersey going in this box and a Boom hoodie. And you're going to be like, I'm gonna ask you to wear the hoodie because the jersey goes up on your wall, right? The jersey gets hung up. But damn, if I'm not saying, I'm mad that I'm not keeping this. I could fence this to a collector so easily, and I'm just gonna give it away. And that's just the first one. There are more. Doggy, there are more. Ooh, doggy, there are more. Ooh, doggy, there are more. Let's get ready to shoot this video, huh? Let's make this right. Baby, come on over tonight. We can make it. I burned up the first hour talking about NFL Europe and other nonsense. That's the stuff. That's the good cheese. NFL Europe and breaking down why the Giants are good. That's the cheese. We can make it. All right. Take a piece of my heart and go from the start. All right. Let's bring it right back. Man, I don't have a clip to run. Let me just run the theme song. I'll throw up the Be Right Back. And then I will go get a drink. And I got to set up my light. I got to get my laptop charger. Okay, drink, laptop charger, set up the light. We'll come back in a minute and a half, and we will pop off on this video, okay? It's a banger. It's week 4 waivers and streams. We pretty much already talked about it. If you're watching the show, if you're in the chat, you have input too. I gave away a Mighty Dollar ticket for finishing a quote. Like, I'm really just really, what's the opposite of frugal? Loose? I'm loose with the entries. What's the opposite of frugal? You're going to make me look it up? There's somebody not in chat just screaming at their screen. Generous! Generous! Say generous! Well, maybe I don't want to. Lavish. Lavish is an antonym. I could be pretty lavish with the entries. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Boomboxing it. Leaving the boombox up. Firing off. Popping off. I'll be right back. It's Check Down. Check Down Tuesday. We set the light up. We get back into it. We pop the video off. Oh, maybe we'll do a boombox hit. Wouldn't that be crazy? If I just fucking do a family show, do a boombox hit in the middle of this episode? Wowzers. I should shoot one in general. Yeah, I should do one. That's what it sounded like just now. Okay, we slap record. We're recording and streaming. Double dip, double dip. Tyler Boyd. Waivers. Keep trade. We're not doing keep trade cut. We're doing the waivers and the streamers. And we'll come back with keep trade trut afterwards. We'll come back to keep trade cut because it's a pretty one. Oh, God. Sorry. Making the font bigger because I got to take my glasses off. That works. Lifestyle. If you're watching on stream, we're going to take like a stream chill. Like we're not taking any questions for a couple minutes because we're going to film this video. Victor Ebotokubipe. Now that's a jersey. That's a jersey to get. This is lighting, boys. This is technical. AO technology. I'm tired of using technology. What did you get on top of me? Ayo. Yo, that song's a banger. Like, on the real, that song slaps so hard. Timberlake, bangers. I can't wait to listen to that now. 10:01, I will be popping off on that digital beat. 10:01, digital beat. Okay, so we're recording right now. I 5 count. I launch into week 4. That's for you guys. That's for the people at home. Let you know that I still care. I look a little washed, but that's just from my football days. Heyo. The first one is Tyler Boyd. Check. Good volume. What's up, guys? Rick from Boom Fantasy talking about week 4 waivers and streamers. I'm actually streaming right now in the Boom Fantasy app. It's free to download. Android, Apple devices. What are you waiting for? Jackpot contest up to $1 million. So get on that. You know, I'm going to talk about waivers, and there's going to be no running backs this week, and that's because running back is a desert. And it goes back to what I talk about earlier in the season, where we want to stack up on running backs in our draft. And that's not because running backs are superior players or have the chance to be the top scorer. It's because we get to this point in the season, we go to free agency, and there are just no backs available. They've all been scooped up because the nature of injuries and committees and underperformers and unexpected setbacks for certain players. And here we are where I'm not going to tell you to go pick up Darren Sproles because I don't think it's super viable, right? But I do have a couple of players worth using a waiver spot on, adding to your squad, help you win a couple of games this season, because bye weeks just around the corner. Your depth is going to get tested, and you're going to need a deeper roster with playable players to help you win games in the midseason. So let's get to it. Did you guys like that? The first name is Tyler Boyd, and he's a name we brought up on our Sunday show because he's the most targeted receiver for Andy Dalton when he's under pressure. That's who he goes to when he's in trouble, and that's a huge sign for us when we're looking for sleeper targets, right? Tyler Boyd is getting an insane snap share. That's where we first noticed him, because it wasn't John Ross as the second receiver. It was Tyler Boyd out-snapping him almost 2-1, and now the production follows, right? Not only did he have a nice game on Sunday, but AJ Green got kind of banged up. That can only elevate Boyd's role in an offense that is already exceeding expectations. The Bengals have a soft schedule over the next several weeks. Boyd is a very solid wide receiver to add. One down. I want to touch on Kenny Golladay just for a second because you might have missed him. But in a team... Messed up. Take it back. Ayo. 3. I want to talk about Kenny Golladay for just a second because I talked about him last week, and if you didn't pick him up, you might be too late. Another strong game last week against the Patriots, and there's a strong chance that all 3 Lions starting receivers could finish with over 1,000 yards. That would be bonkers, but it is not out of the question. Golladay is mega talented, and it's very clear that the Lions want to get him the ball. I hope you didn't miss the boat, but if you didn't, you can get on board, pick him up right meow. Because the Lions are cats. That was what that was. Another name I talked about last week but still want you to pick up is Antonio Callaway, because my argument got even stronger than it was last week, right? Last week I suggested Callaway because of Josh Gordon's absence. Now I'm going to push him on you because of Baker Mayfield. With Mayfield named the starter for the Browns, every weapon for the Browns gets elevated, and Callaway's no different. He's the number 1 receiver on the outside because Landry likes to work inside. He's a deep threat. He's a great talent that was undervalued coming out of college for personal issues. He's going to burst. He's going to be a player, and you're going to want him on your squad. Nailed it. Bop boop, bop boop. I got 2 more guys. 3. I know I already talked about the Bengals, but I also want to recommend Tyler Eifert because I think a lot of people jumped off that train seeking a sexier name or someone with more stability. But as long as Tyler Eifert is healthy, it's very clear that he's going to produce. I burped. Damn it. Family show. 3, 2, 1. Hanging out. I know I already touched on the Bengals, but I still want to push Tyler Eifert because it's very clear that as long as Eifert is healthy, he's going to produce. And some people may have jumped ship for a sexier name or a hotter name, but Eifert is going to be there. He's going to be consistent, and the Bengals offense is looking good enough that it can support Eifert as a low-end TE1 because right now in the league, that's not a lot of points, right? Good tight ends are hard to come by, and Eifert can be as consistent as they come. I'm excited about this next name. Bapu, 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 Bapu. It's really hard with the lights. Try not to schwitz. Roll my pants up. Ooh ah. Ooh ah. Really glad I shaved. 3, 2. The last name I'm really excited about is Dallas Goedert, and it's not because necessarily of Goedert, it's more of what's going on around him. The return of Carson Wentz and the lack of weapons in Philadelphia. Because Alshon Jeffrey's out, Matt Collins out, there's really only Aguilar at wide receiver. The Eagles are at a dearth of talent. And they want to protect Carson Wentz, who just came back from multiple knee ligament injuries. So what do? Play more two tight end sets. Wentz already liked to lean on the tight end. Last week in his first game back, he targeted the tight end position 17 times, all right? That's not like an anomaly. That's what made Trey Burton and Zach Ertz so viable last year. We've seen Burton do some things in Chicago, but now I'm starting to think it's just more of the way Wentz likes to play football, and that's totally fine because Ertz and Burton took a slight step back when Nick Foles entered the lineup last year. So if Carson Wentz is going to prefer the tight end, nobody is owning Dallas Goedert right now. So in deeper leagues, if you can get essentially the third weapon in the Eagles offense, that's something you should do right now. I think I crushed that one. I slipped a couple times, but I got to say dearth in a sentence, and that's always beneficial. Streamers. When it comes to streaming defenses this week, it's all about opportunities, right? The first one is Seattle. They haven't always looked their best this season, but they are at Arizona for Josh Rosen's debut as a starter. Now, Seattle isn't what they used to be in coverage, but they do have Frank Clark, a very legitimate pass rusher in the NFL. So they can put pressure on the young quarterback, force him to make mistakes in his debut. You're never going to catch a better spot, a rookie making their first start. Seattle's an undervalued defense, so it's feasible that you could go pick them up right now and start them this week. I feel like I'm ranting on the back end. I got to get in and out of these. Chargers. The next one is the Chargers, and a lot of people were hot on the Chargers, but after they got blown out in multiple games this season, there's a chance that you could find them on free agency, and I'm recommending them because they get the 49ers. CJ Beathard, first week without Jimmy Garoppolo. They're going to be lost, dazed, and confused. There's no better time to pick up the Chargers defense, and the 49ers are going to be the new team that we stream against throughout the year. It was the Bills, right? Maybe it was the Browns with Tyrod, but now it's going to be the 49ers until they prove us otherwise because they instantly have the worst quarterback in the league, and that's who we want to stream against. So they got CJ Beathard, and now they got the target on their back. We love it. The last streaming defense I can recommend this week is the Green Bay Packers. They're at home against Josh Allen and the Bills. Now, you may have seen what Josh Allen did against the Vikings, and I'm worried about it too, but the way I think about it is like this. A rookie quarterback doesn't get the whole playbook. There are plays in the Bills playbook designed for Josh Allen. One read rollouts, design runs, things to get him moving, things to get him open receivers and make easy throws. And that's fine and dandy. Maybe the Vikings weren't ready for that. But now the Packers have a whole week to study what worked for the Bills and to plan to counter. Now, Josh Allen goes into Lambeau against an aggressive defense. Clay Matthews loves hitting quarterbacks, maybe a little too much, and we'll see what Josh Allen can do, see if the rookie can string two really good performances together. I don't think he can. Regression time. I think that one's a no-brainer. People are going to get hot on the Bills. I hope the Bills take public money this week. Ridiculous. Ooh, 3. I've got 2 streaming quarterbacks this week, and the first one's a no-brainer. It's Baker Mayfield, right? If a team in the league doesn't have the roster spot to pick up Baker Mayfield, you should be that team because the upside is tremendous. He's got multiple talented wide receivers, a functioning running game, and a defense with a really strong pass rush, right? Tyrod Taylor had decent numbers, including QB6 week 1, bolstered by his rushing upside, but he was also holding the ball too long and missing big throws, right? Baker is going to take those deep throws, and if he hits them, he becomes insanely viable. He's got a great release, he's very accurate, and he's worth at least one stream this week at Oakland because the Raiders don't have a strong pass rush, right? They got lit up by Ryan Tannehill last week, especially on deep passes. Kenny Stills caught a deep one, right? So a team that doesn't have a strong pass rush is going to allow Baker to sit in the pocket, go through his progression, and make plays. It may be a tough road matchup for a rookie debut, but I'm confident enough in Mayfield and in the Browns' skill position players to ensure a quality start. Bop boop, bop boop. Da boop, bop boop, boop. Last one. The last streamer I want to suggest this week is Eli Manning, and this is not a homer pick, right? Manning had a really strong game against the Texans, and it's because of a slight game plan shift by Pat Shurmur and the Giants. The Giants went empty set, no backs, only receivers, just Eli, on 8 plays against Houston. J.J. Watt got a sack on one of them, but Eli was 7 for 7 on the other plays. It's clear that Shurmur is slowly figuring out how best to use Eli, how best to scheme Odell Beckham open, and that can only benefit the Giants' offense. This week, they're home against the Saints, who have really struggled in coverage. They're the team that got lit up by Tyrod Taylor, and last week, they gave up 5 touchdowns to an at-will Atlanta Falcons offense. So the Giants are a great pick to win at home. It could be a high-scoring affair, especially if the Giants can continue to develop their new offense, get Odell Beckham open into space, and that starts with Eli Manning. This is me checking the messages. Da boo boo. Oh, flex. That's it for waivers and streamers. Come back tomorrow. We're going to have a Thursday night football preview. It's a good one. Vikings, Rams. Me and Big Play Coach Jay from Daily Fantasy Insider. Hey, you watch our streams Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday? Check out the Boombox. Don't know what that is? Guess you got to watch to find out. Your loss. Enjoy your week. I did finger guns at the end. Who am I? Who am I? Why am I doing finger guns? I don't understand this. Did you guys like that? Get that video up nice and quick. We'll immediately start editing that. Oh, the light. That only took 15 minutes. That's solid. That was bright. This is empty. Where's the full one? Where's the new boy? Oh yeah, let's get it. This is gonna be good because now we can just look at odds. We can put week 3 in the books. We can look at week 4 odds. Let's watch a funny video while I crack this drink open. Cheers. Ooh, Let me refresh Boom Chat, see what's going on with the squad. Haven't really been paying attention. Wow. My phone is struggling. Because I'm sucking up the Wi-Fi. And I think my family's here. And they're also sucking up the Wi-Fi. It's a Wi-Fi suck party. Let's get the old background back, you know. Got that old thing back. Don't you want to? Got that old thing back. Bow. Yeah, we got people. We got people. We got People Depot. All right. I'm going to crack open a drink. Let's watch a fun video. This is Samuel Grubbs on Twitter. The evolution of roughing the passer. Cheers. To week 4. To profits. To over 55 in the Steelers game.
Second down. Smith is jacked. Oh my! And a penalty. It's on Matthews.
The wig. Hit the flag. Throw a flag on the flag.
Hands, shake hands.
Oh, no.
Second down.
He looked at him. They just got to go into Burger King and do that? No, stop. The ref stood. Yo, he's just looking for an excuse to jump on his friend's car. That is really funny. That was really funny. Clay Matthews, man. It sucks that the same weekend Clay Matthews caught that flag, the Dolphins player tore his ACL for not trying to land on Derek Carr. That's problematic for the league. That is essentially not what they want. Why would you want that? The guy who tries to avoid... One guy, problematic, takes a flag, doesn't understand. The other guy tries to avoid the flag, tears his ACL. It's bad optics, I'll tell you that much. I'm a big fan of optics. That's right. That right there is bad optics. Let's get some odds. What did Lamb Show like to use? Pregame.com. I'm okay with pregame.com. I would just as soon go to my local, but I guess he likes seeing the openings and the live movement. I always look at the wrong column on this one. So I'm looking at the lines before I look at the boom contest, because I'm going to let the Vegas spreads be my guide, because you'd be stupid not to do that. We talk about it in an earlier video this season. Vegas knows best. Follow the money. They're more accurate than you think. We just keep going. All right, without further ado, first game. Dolphins Pats opened up at 7.5. It's at 7. Wow, that means there's money on coming in on Miami in Foxborough. Listen, I know the Patriots defense isn't great, but Tannehill, I mean, I think he's gonna have to run for at least 50 yards for the Dolphins to have a chance. He's gonna have to beat them the way Bortles beat them. And that being said, it's very feasible. Tannehill's just as good as Bortles, which is provocative. Maybe a lot of people won't agree with that. Texans at Colts. I'm off the Texans. I can't believe how bad they are. Penalties, bad mistakes. Watson is doing all he can, but it's really hard for me to endorse that team on the road. I don't care that Andrew Luck didn't throw the last pass in the game. To me, that's the biggest non-story of Week 3. The biggest. Let's zoom in if you guys really can't see these odds. That is the biggest non-story of the week. I don't care that Jacoby Brissett threw the last pass of the Super Bowl. We had freaking Brock Osweiler throw last passes for Peyton Manning all the time. Nobody cared. Nobody anointed Brock Osweiler except the Browns management. Excuse me. We're drinking. Can you believe that the Texans gave him all that money? That is unreal. He is so bad. He studied under Peyton Manning. Dumb narrative. I'm so glad we don't live in a world where he's a starter anymore. Whew, yeesh. We had it before Jimmy G's injury. We were just about set across the league at quarterback. There were very few teams. I'm trying to think if there were any teams with legitimate "is he the guy" controversy, and it might have just been because of Fitzmagic. I can't think of a team that really struggled about their guy. No. We were like locked in. Like, it's weird to think about. Case Keenum, I guess, but there were no fluid situations before Jimmy G went down. The league was at an all-time high in scoring because everyone had a freaking quarterback. Even the Bills turned to Allen and got way more production from Allen than they did from anybody else they'd started previously. Years. Plural. So I'm not worried about Luck not throwing a Hail Mary, and I like the Colts at home. Bengals at Falcons. Man, the Falcons have some real bad injuries on defense. That's why we like Boyd. It's why we like Eifert, Dalton streaming, etc. Dalton's going to have a nice little season. It'd be a great spot for Joe Mixon, I tell you. If he was healthy, I tell you. Falcons are a decent team that can move the ball, but 6 points is a lot against that defense. That's a tough game. I tell you what, that's a teaser. Give me Bengals plus 12. I could see myself falling in love with that. And I don't even do teasers anymore. I just quit teasers yesterday. Packers minus 10.5 against the Bills. I'm not going to get burned by the Bills again. Honestly, GFY. Like GFY Buffalo. I don't even want your sauce. I can't quit you. It's down to 10. That means money's coming in on the buff. Let's go, Buffs. Their defense is good. The biggest problem with the Bills is that they cannot play from behind. So they got up 7-0 on the Vikings and freaking cruised, right? They can't play from behind. They like to stuff the run. They like to hold the ball. They are not otherworldly. They are not a big play offense. They like to win the turnover battle and grind out victories. That's how they made the playoffs. Not by boat racing other teams. You know, they made the playoffs last year by winning the turnover battle. You can't do that with Nathan Peterman. That's the difference. Lions at Cowboys. That's a really interesting game. That's two teams that I feel like the public is way down on, especially after the Cowboys got waxed. But that was Seattle's home opener, so there's nothing like that crowd. And then you got Detroit wax the Patriots, but at the same time have looked unspectacular for pretty much the rest of the season compared the other 2 weeks. Sorry. Just making sure we were still streaming. Your boy forgets. 3.5 is generous. I like Lions plus 3.5. I think that's a great bet. I think that's a great bet that I'll probably lose by 2 scores. I think that's a great bet that I'll probably regret right away. You know why? Because Isaiah Crowell ran pretty much at will on that Lions defense. Matt Breida had a huge run on that Lions defense. But the Pats can't run the ball, right? That's the difference. Matchups. What did the other team try to do, and were they successful? Less about quality, more about scenarios. Matchups. Carson Wentz, Marcus Mariota, Eagles Titans. I skipped 2 games. Jets at Jaguars. Sam Darnold gets a real test. That's interesting. I don't want to just go game by game, but I do think that it's fun. I don't want to touch that game. What do we got? 38.5. I would tease that. Take the under. I'd be cool with under 45 in that game. Bucket. Who blows that? 40 points between the Jets and Jags. Who blows that? The Jets would have to really beat themselves. The Jaguars would have to score a defensive touchdown for you to blow under 45.5 in that game. For sure. The Jags would have to eclipse 28 points. For sure. Bucks at Bears. Super interesting game. Potentially the first Jameis game. Even if Jameis doesn't start, if Fitzmagic starts off with 2 picks, you probably go to Jameis, right? Because the luck's run out. Yo, Fitzpatrick took shots yesterday. He got beat up. And now he's got Khalil Mack. That team didn't always get home against Arizona, but they got the turnovers when it counts. And that's what you need. You need to be opportunistic as a defense. You're not going to stop them on every play. Game scripts are too good. Play callers are too good. Bears minus 2.5 is I just can't make Mitchell Trubisky the favorite when I know how explosive the Buccaneers are and I know how not explosive the Bears can be. The John Fox Bears were more explosive. I'm very comfortable in that statement. I wasn't before. I think I am now. The John Fox Bears are more explosive than the Matt Nagy Bears. And I hope the film backs that up. I'm about to watch a lot of film. Eagles Titans. Eagles Titans. Eagles minus 3 at the Titans. You know, the Eagles are going to have real trouble running the ball without any running backs. That's why it'd be so cool if they got in the Bell game. But I don't think they will because they don't have the money. They went full all-star team on defense. But the Eagles need Alshon Jeffrey back real bad. I'm not touching that game either, but I would have to take the Eagles because I'm not impressed by anything the Titans are doing. The Titans needed a game-winning field goal against the Texans. They needed a game-winning field goal against the Jaguars. They've another team that is scrapping one-possession wins. Unsustainable. But if you just look at records, like, oh, the Titans are good favorites. Seahawks Cardinals pick 'em. That's the Josh Rosen game. I'm probably going to put my life savings on my son because I'm a good dad. And I'm going to root for Josh, but I don't know if I could bet on that game. It's already going to give me enough anxiety. I'm going to watch every second of that game. Browns Raiders, another great rookie quarterback game. I'm obviously going to take the Browns because I believe the Browns to be very talented and hence undervalued with the quarterback that they have because they're still getting valued like they're the same team. With Baker, they're not the same team. They're a much, much better team with Baker Mayfield under center, and that'll show. The Raiders have been good, but their inability to throw deep is a really hindrance. Xavier Howard completely locked down Amari Cooper, put him in a body bag on Sunday. He had 1 catch for 8 yards, and Denzel Ward is not the same level as Howard, but he can shut down Cooper, and that severely limits what the Raiders trying to do. Marshawn Lynch less effective against Ogunjobi and that Browns defensive line. So, again, interesting game. I could probably get talked into under 44.5, but I really just want to root on Baker. Same like the Cardinals game. I really just want to root on that dude. Chargers immediately up to 10.5 going against CJ Beathard. I think we pound that line. I think if you're an eliminator league, survive league, you have to take the Chargers this week. Have to. CJ Beathard on the road, 1 week to prepare, 100% CJ Beathard. That's the lock of the week, baby. I'll buy it down to 10 and I'll feel good about it, but it's Phillip Rivers. So if I know Phillip Rivers, he's going to be down 4 Sunday at 7 p.m. So like can't cover if you're down 4. Oh man, sorry guys. Getting towards the end here. Long day, long night last night. Your boy's putting in the hours for boom. That's a fact, Jack. Saints Giants, that's a 4:00 game in New York. That's a rarity, and I feel like the Giants struggle with that. That's fine, but I don't see how they hang with the Saints over the course of a game. They need way more pressure than they've been getting. So maybe with Olivier Vernon I'd consider it, but he wasn't that impressive at full health. He just took a lot of money from the Giants and hasn't been doing much. So give me the Saints money line. I hope it's close. Over 50 is so feasible. 50 feels low, but for those teams. Because you got to stop looking at what the Giants have done because they're growing, you know? You got to start looking at their potential. And I would have said that after week 1. And I wouldn't have said it after week 2, and now I'm back to it. So hopefully they'll score 6 points and I can flip-flop again next week. Ravens Steelers, we always take the under. We don't even care. I'm just kidding. The Ravens have been chucking it all over the field. Joe Flacco's been absolutely hucking it. And this is actually a trend, which I learned today. This is a trend that dates back to halfway through last year. The Ravens, something clicked in Joe Flacco and the Ravens offense. They've been putting up points since late last year. And since Ryan Shazier went down, Ben Roethlisberger, QB1. So over 51 seems like fair enough for two teams that traditionally play a very tight field goal game and could have a legit shootout on Sunday night. Wouldn't that be something? The Ravens and Steelers getting in a 60-point shootout. That's not your daddy's football. That feels weird. Chiefs Broncos. Obviously, I'm taking Mahomes until someone says something else. Don't care. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, my heart was pounding pretty fast. I mean, it really was an awesome experience.
Why is his voice like that?
Yeah, my heart was pounding pretty fast. I mean, it really.
Why
was
does
an
he
awesome
talk like
experience.
that?
I mean, these fans, the passion that they have is. Yeah, my heart was pounding pretty fast. I mean, it really.
Patrick,
was
my
an
heart,
awesome,
my heart. Patrick, my heart, my heart. So that's week 4. Lots of good fantasy matchups, especially Saints Giants. I think Bengals Falcons is a good fantasy matchup. I think Dolphins Pats is a good fantasy matchup. And believe it or not, I think Vikings Rams is decent. I really think the Rams are matchup proof at this point because the scheme is so good and the Rams are down their top 2 corners. So Mike Zimmer can open them up. Adam Thielen's been pretty uncoverable. Michael Rappaport is suing Barstool Sports. That's the only time I've wanted to say good job, Michael Rappaport. So I got Vikings Rams queued up for Thursday. That's going to be a banger. That might be the best Thursday game we got. Phenomenal. Sorry. Showing too much. Showing the guts. Showing the nuts and bolts. Nobody wants that. I didn't look at the baseball standings. This is going to be crazy. Baseball bracket. This article is posted this morning. So it's got what I need. If the season ended today, there'd be a 1-game playoff between the Athletics and the Yankees. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, the AL playoffs are locked. Except for the division. I think it's just the Indians and the Astros in terms of home team. But I think that's locked. Right? Hold on. The postseason is now less than a week away. Plenty postseason races have to be decided. The AL East champ, AL Central champ, AL West leader, Astros. Not yet clinch a title. 5-game lead. Wild card, clinch. NL East champ, clinch. NL Central leader. Cubs have a 2-game lead in the Central. The Rockies are 1 game behind the Dodgers in the loss column. Okay. The Cardinals have not yet been eliminated. The elimination number is 2 with 5 games to play. Oh, I didn't even know that. That's pretty lucrative. Wow, so these games matter. So maybe I should have thrown something on these games tonight. That's interesting. Okay, so let's play this out. If there's a 1 game between the Yankees and the A's, it really comes down to if they're going to start Severino or Tanaka. But you got to watch out because the A's lineup has been worth a DFS stack all season long. They will pop off. Chris Davis has having a monster season. And even then, the winner's got to go to Boston. Like, F that. That sucks. Your whole season comes down to 1 game. And even if you win it, you got to play the team that won 106 games with your second starter. F that, man. Indians Astros is going to be a really crazy game. You know, this season I've been betting the Indians at home in the first 5 innings and the Astros in the road first 5 innings. So in the games in Cleveland, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably bet the over, right? Bang! I'm going to take every Verlander start and every Bauer start, I guess, unless they play each other. I don't know. That is good baseball. Houston, Cleveland is going to be good baseball. That's worth watching. That's worth flipping back. It's worth keeping up in the corner, flipping back to a commercial. I can't wait. And then it'll get like Cleveland, Boston, you know, Houston, Boston. They've played some bangers of games over the past year or so. They've played really good games. So the wild card comes down to St. Louis and Milwaukee, but mostly Milwaukee. That's cool. Milwaukee's also got hitters and the bullpen. That's the thing that can take you far in the playoffs is the bullpen. It's always been the key. In hockey, it's the hot goalie. In football, it's the run game and the turnover-averse quarterback. And in baseball, it's the bullpen. Always in the playoffs. Always. Because good starting pitching is a requirement to get through a baseball season. Yadi Molina, 3-run home run. Here come the Cardinals. That just happened. Sorry, I get home run alerts. Okay, so let's say the Brewers are the lock. Brewers, Cubs. We know how that goes, right? Because the Cubs, it's an NL Central game. Dodgers, Braves is really interesting because the Braves are young. The Braves are probably going to get tight. The Dodgers have good pitching, but it's Kershaw in the playoffs on a contract year. He could be out this year. I would like to see the Dodgers go back to the World Series. Then again, there will be nothing better than another Dodgers-Cubs. Like, we've always been on the fast track to Dodgers-Cubs in the NL. So I'm excited to see it again, especially with Daniel Murphy as a Cub and Manny Machado as a Dodger. Like, what? The series was good. The series started good. Now we're adding these 2 walkers, these 2 wallopers, these 2 proven dongers, these 2 men of steel. I love that. I love that matchup. I'm getting myself excited for baseball without even watching a single pitch. That is phenomenal. All right, bring it in. Come on home. Oh, finishing up here. Oh my God. So week 4's got matchups, man. It doesn't have the prevailing blowout that that we saw, or we thought we would see at least, with Minnesota Buffalo, or even the outright shootout, like, I have to start all my Falcons. I have to start all my Saints. But I think it's a little more nuanced in week 4. And I don't know if you noticed, but we got buys, baby. We got teams that are off. The Panthers and the Washington Racial Slurs are both not playing. No Cam. No Alex Smith. No Adrian Peterson. No Christian McCaffrey, number 3 running back in fantasy. No Devin Funchess. No Chris Thompson. No Jordan Reed. No DJ Moore. Why did I start DJ Moore last week? So stupid. I still won, but it was such a dumb start. Such a dumb start. Upside. Big upside play. I don't always, check all my lineups sober on Sunday. You know what I mean? Because I'm so busy helping you guys with the dish. I bless you guys. You guys got 3 hours to check your lineups. I should start ending the show at 12:50 and then just cramming for 10 minutes. That's how you get the panic switches. That's how DJ Moore gets there in the first place. Right? 10 minutes before kickoff. I think I lack upside. I think I need a ceiling play. I had a 51-yard touchdown last week and the offense said they were going to get him more involved. Lies. Always lies. Forever lies. But Calvin Ridley. What do you do with a player like Calvin Ridley, who does nothing for 2 weeks and catches 3 touchdowns on 6 catches? He's got 60% snap share. I can't really advocate it. In a deep league, I think you try to trade him for as much as you can. Try to trade him for a real asset. But overall, it becomes a complicated scenario in terms of output, targets, because Julio's supposed to be the guy. But if Matt Ryan's going to light up the red zone and going to light up the red zone using Julio as a straight decoy, Calvin Ridley's hella viable because that offense is moving. Even in the last year through now, they are the most efficient yards per play, success rate, explosive plays. They are the best offense in football. They just haven't been able to succeed in the red zone and turn their drives into touchdowns. And if they start doing that, it doesn't matter how many guys they lose on defense. They're going to be back. They're going to be very out here until they face the Rams. Oh, I'm sorry. They beat the Rams in the playoffs by holding the ball for 40 minutes. Listen. That's a good football team. That's an experienced football team. We had to forget so we could remember. But as far as Calvin Ridley, I'm not gonna make him an every week starter. No. I hardly even put him over Sanu, who I think could be an important part of that offense, but a touchdown or bust fantasy player. I put him over Hooper. You happy? Great. I get some keep trade cut names. Keep trade cut is the bleep, marry, kill of the fantasy football world, you know? And that's a fun game to play when you got 20 minutes left. The first name's Corey Davis, and a lot of people are off the Corey Davis bandwagon. I've been a Corey Davis truther since last year, since college, and now it kind of stings. That being said, his week 1 target share into week 2 is really nothing to scoff at. Marcus Mariota has nerve damage, my guy. We're talking about a guy that with a healthy Marcus Mariota can start pulling down double-digit targets on the regular. And we just need that in our life. If you can keep Corey Davis on a roster spot on your bench and weather out this Mariota nerve damage, because we learned over the week from Dr. David Chow that if a guy gets a stinger, he could have it back in minutes, feeling like nerve damage. He could get feeling back in an hour, or in minutes, in seconds to minutes, maybe an hour, maybe. But if it doesn't go away immediately, Chow said on the podcast with Warren Sharp and Evan Silva, highly recommend it. Chow said that's going to persist. That's going to hang around. Could be weeks, could be months. So Marcus Mariota doesn't have full nerve feeling in his arm. Definitely a sketchy situation. Definitely the reason Blaine Gabbert's been playing. They actually signed Austin Davis today just to give them a third. You got to have a third option, man. You got to have a third quarterback if your first one is hurt and your second one's named Blaine Gabbert. It's just smart roster construction, right? That being said, Derrick Henry's got the lowest success rate of any back in football, and they need to throw because they will be chasing games, and Corey Davis is going to be a double-digit target monster. Keep. The next name's Jordy Nelson. Jordy Nelson got caught by a linebacker. That's a play that we'll watch on Thursday. I need to write that down. I need Post-its. I need to get Post-its tomorrow. If I had a Post-it, I could make a note that I need it for a Post-it. Jordy Nelson had 2 really long plays and then was irrelevant, just like we expected him to be all season long. I actually was a fringe fan of his value based on red zone numbers, but they're not getting to the red zone. And if they're getting to the red zone, they're giving it to Cook underneath and then pounding it to Lynch, rinse, repeat. No problems with it. No qualms with it. Do you, baby? But I'm not going to be on the Jordy Nelson train, not now, not ever. However, if you do have him, he was obviously on your bench last week, go to the 0-3 team and see if he wants to trade. Just find the worst player in your league and see if they want him. Assets. Try to flip for something. Because I don't like him. But the 1 week is going to jump off the page for the average fantasy player. Because it was a really nice week. And you could spin it. The third name's Duke Johnson, and I'm really struggling with this one because I like Duke Johnson's game a lot, and I was bullish on him into the season because kind of a forgotten man in that 3-headed attack. But Carlos Hyde is touching the ball more than any running back in the league, and that's problematic for Johnson's usage. The only reason I will be interested in holding on to Duke Johnson is Baker. Baker lifts everything. And if Baker likes Duke Johnson and the plays that involve Duke Johnson, hell, I like Duke Johnson too. So I'm hoping that he's got a role that will grow with a new quarterback. But as of now, he's not even remotely startable. Everybody is going to say cut, but I'm going to say keep because of the Baker upside. Because I truly believe that the Browns are a good football team disguised as a bad football team. They're wearing a bad football team's uniforms. But they got real players, and I think it's only a matter of time. Holler. Hard Knocks, they might be the first Hard Knocks team to, smash expectations. And they could have been even better with Baker week 1. Can we talk about how with a kicker and Baker, they are easily 3-0? It's not close. Everything else is going their way. They're running the ball. They're getting great pressure. They're winning the turnover battle. Their kicker's letting them down, and their quarterback play sucks. 0-3. Or 1-1. 1-1-1. BS. I'm upset. The last name's Sterling Shepard. I think he had 7 for 80 yards and a touchdown against the Texans. I think this is a keep for right now. Evan Engram is out. And if Engram is out, Shepard becomes Engram. And he's still himself. He kind of eats Engram's target share because he's the third option, the underneath option. The plays are built for Odell. And then Shepard becomes the other option to win man coverage against lesser defensive talent. That's the matchup game, right? So Shepard is an asset that was worth nothing last week. You might even be able to get him on free agency. I'd probably start him this week if you have nobody else in a PPR flex situation, if you have nobody else. Can produce. Good receiver. In a good system. Can essentially be the Thielen to Beckham's Diggs in this Zimmer system if Eli can get it together. So we're working on it, work in progress. One step at a time. Da 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 da. Keep trade or cut. It's a game that we play. Do we cut him now or trade him today? It's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. Have you guys ever heard of the boombox? It's the thing that I use to reward you for hanging with me and playing on Boom Fantasy, y'all. All you gotta do is deposit into Boom, use your phone, ka-tink, screenshot, send it to me, rick@boomfantasy.com. It's super easy because my name's on the bottom and you're literally using the app right now. rick@boomfantasy.com. Any question you want, whether it's about football or life or Die Hard, I don't care. You get on the emoji board, maybe next to the pineapple, maybe all the way on the opposite side, maybe on the back. Who knows? It's your call. Then you're going to enter to win the boombox. We're going to start drawing them soon. You want to be there. You want at least a ticket, right? You're going to get Boom apparel. You're going to rock it all day. You're going to get Boom swag. You're going to find it when you need it. It's going to have our logo. It's going to be dope. You're also going to get a random Let's go bobblehead shopping. We do this every once in a while. This is how it works. You win the boombox, we go here. We go to the bobblehead store. Search for anything. Bobblehead. Sort by. Ending soonest. This is how we do it. Wowzer. Funko Pops don't count. We've said it many times. Charlie Blackmon, Tulsa Drillers, batting champ. Wow, he doesn't even look homeless in this. That's impressive. They sold 2. This looks like something that got given away yesterday. Ichiro rookie bobblehead, hand painted. That is special. 2001 rookie of the year. Bobble Dobbles. Bobble Dobbles. Why does it look nothing like Ichiro? Don't answer that. Donovan McNabb, Veterans Stadium. 2000. This one's a little pricey. They're not even going to show us the bobblehead because he won't take it out of this. He won't take it out of the wrapper. That's nice, but at the same time, like, come on. Where's the best offer button? I'm trying to leave a best offer. No Whiskey Pete's. Garen Cicchini, Salem Red Sox. Growing Champions, down on the fam. Who is this? I don't know who this is. Cicchini? Let me know if you know who that is. World Series trophy bobblehead? Does it bobble? What bobbles? Where's the bobble? Just show me what bobbles. Because that looks like a statue. Oh, we found it. Scherzer, 2015 no-hitter. If it's got 2 different color eyes, yep. This is yours. It's got the 2 different color eyes, so you can get weirded out by this weirdo every day. God, I love it. This is yours if you win the boombox. But it's bigger than that. It really is. Because I got certificate of authentication on some filthy Pristine Auctions gear. Straight gas. And it's time for me to start showing you what is in there, right? We already talked about one player. But, man, I got to tell you about this next guy. He was Defensive Player of the Year, okay? Depoy. He's a 4-time All-Pro. He's a stud. Depoy, 4 times made All-Pro in his defensive career. Also won a Super Bowl as a member of a dominant defense. Wouldn't you know? Also won a Super Bowl. He's a winner, and he's a stud. You know what that means. He's in the Hall of Fame. Oh, within 5 years, a recent Hall of Famer. You know what that means? If you look at this and you do a little research, you might be able to figure out who this is. But you don't need to worry because he will be revealed and his signed jersey, authenticated, real signature, name, number, jersey, will be in the boombox. Just like that, man. Just like that. You want legends? You want signatures? You want to spruce up your man cave? This stuff's dope. I'm really out here. I really took the Boom credit card. You thought it was all talk. It's so real. So real. Okay? That signed jersey is on the way. Recognize. Recognize. I just want you to know. Because I'm getting a lot of like, oh, Rick, what's the boombox? I don't get it. This guy's signed jersey is in the boombox. This is a Hall of Fame signature, authenticated in the boombox. I am not fucking around. Family show. It's real. It's real. And it's winnable. It's like insanely winnable. We're going to use random number generator based on the deposits by date. Like, there's no flashy way to pull the drawing. You got just as much same as chance as everybody else. Phenomenal. So good. What else did I want to talk about? I mean, we're pretty much straight here. We got 10 minutes to hang. I don't know what the audience was like, but y'all, thanks for chilling if y'all popped in. I appreciate it. We do this Tuesday, and we put this video up tomorrow. And then we got Thursday. Sorry. Got to get messages out. Got to talk to the people. It's the will of the people. Thy will be done. We're trying to get our YouTube stream back. I'm fighting the system every step of the way. Am I going to lose? Am I going to win? That's up for you to decide, because the people have the final say. That's democracy, baby. I want to look at the Boom early slate because I haven't yet. And I'm going to make a video on it in a couple days, so I should probably know what I'm talking about. We'll go through those 8 questions. I'll say goodnight. That'll get us to 10 o'clock. Let me know what you think about this 8 to 10 window. I'm out here, you know? I don't know. So we're going to Sunday morning, early slate, $1 million jackpot. Yo, the NBA logo is up in the app. The NBA logo is up in the app. It's about to be that time. Week 4 early slate. Get it all gas, no brakes. Just for you, I might jeopardize. Week 4 early slate, $1 million jackpot. Bang, you can't see it. Question 1, more passing yards. Andy Dalton at the Falcons or Matt Stafford at the Cowboys? I'm going to go with Andy Dalton there. The Falcons are missing multiple pieces in the defensive backfield, and it really showed against the Saints. Started slow, but ultimately able to consistently win in coverage, both intermediate and deep with Michael Thomas. Was able to run strong with Alvin Kamara. Drew Brees had time in the pocket and was able to run. Listen, Andy Dalton's not as bad as Twitter would like to tell you he is, okay? Andy Dalton knows what he's doing, and while I like Stafford, and I think that they will be successful, I think at Dallas presents a little bit more of a challenge, and they have a little bit more of an athletic defense. They have a healthier defense for sure, but definitely a more athletic defense the Cowboys do, and they'll be able to hold the ball on offense, right? Sustain drives, keeping Detroit off the field. I think that Cincinnati and Atlanta can go up and down, up and down. I think that's a good DFS game stack, and so I'm going to take Dalton in that first question. Most rushing yards, Kerryon Johnson's an A-bet. Wow. Lamar Miller, Jordan Howard, or Isaiah Crowell? I'm going to take Jordan Howard here. I like his workload. I like the matchup against Tampa. Decently stout front, but definitely some holes. James Conner got loose a couple times, especially late. Lamar Miller against a surprisingly stout Colts defense. I think the Colts defense was about as underrated as the Bengals offense. It's not bad. They have a couple of real football players, and I think that caught a lot of people off guard. Isaiah Crowell's the D-bet at Jacksonville. It's a hard pass. Kerryon is the A-bet. I'm just unsure about his workload. I understand Chris Carson gashed the Cowboys, and Saquon did his thing, but didn't really do well rushing. So I'm not over the moon about Kerryon, even though I like him, especially as a player. I think he's so much better than Ronald Jones. We talked about that. But I'm going to go with Jay Howe there with a nice little workload and a decent matchup. Again, keep the Tampa offense off the field. That's a good way to beat them. You don't have to keep up. You don't have to do the Pittsburgh thing and score 35 points. You could hold the ball for at least 35 minutes and get a couple turnovers and give yourself a chance to win that way. Most receiving yards, Golden Tate, Zach Ertz, Calvin Ridley on some hype shit, and Kenny Stills against the Patriots. Kenny Stills is pretty interesting because the Patriots are another team that doesn't really have a pass rush. So if the Dolphins are able to get a little time for Tannehill, he can really chuck the Duke, you know? So Kenny Stills might steal this group. I'm off of choosing Lions receivers in the boom contest this season because of the talent at the wide receiver position. I am never going to be able to accurately predict which Lions receiver is going to get the work. Why would I? And for the record, why would they? Because why would the Lions be force-feeding looks to any one receiver? Just throw it to who's open, my guy, you know? So along that note, not going to take Tate. I like Ertz. I like the tight end matchup, but it's still a tight end. I want big plays, and Kenny Stills can get me 70. And the Patriots have decent D-backs, but if you give Tannehill enough time, it's not really going to matter who's playing defense. Kenny Stills is a burner, yo, and it's a D-bet. So let's do it. Bold strategy, Cotton. Most receptions. This is interesting because if it were yards, I'd be more inclined to take Deshaun Jackson, but it's receptions, so there's no chance I take Deshaun Jackson. Devontae Adams, the A-bet, home to Buffalo. DeAndre Hopkins and T.Y. Hilton against the Texans. This is interesting. It is catches. So I'm inclined to go Hopkins here. Devontae Adams, very good. But the Bills' best defensive player is Tre'Davious White, their corner. And I don't necessarily know if he's a shadower of number ones, but he does play the outside where Adams plays. And that means there's a good chance that he'll see a lot of Adams week 1. And so give me DeAndre Hopkins in a force feed scenario, which is where he is, against a Colts team that doesn't have the D-backs. They got good backers. Margus Hunt is a real D lineman now, which is like crazy evolution, but eye test for sure. And T.Y. Hilton, I just don't trust. I think that Luck would rather spread the ball around than keep giving it to one guy. Luck's a who's open kind of guy. That question's a little easier than I first thought it would be. Question 5, most total touchdowns, Tyler Boyd, Marvin Jones, Randall Cobb, and Rob Gronkowski. I'm going Gronk here. I think tight ends have had a decent game against the Dolphins so far. Jared Cook, another nice game. Delaney Walker, week 1 before his ankle snapped. So Gronk just needs 2. None of these other guys are going to get 2. Tyler Boyd's not getting 2. Cobb's not getting 1. Jones isn't getting 2. So give me Rob Gronkowski to get 2, and that's easy to win. Gronkowski as a D-bet is a spicy meatball. Like, really? Like, to put him down there is like the least likely scenario. You got to have stones, Brian. Like, I love, man, that's interesting. It's provocative. Most passing touchdowns, 4 quarterbacks for your viewing pleasure. Ryan Fitzpatrick at the Bears, Matt Ryan home in the Dome, Tom Brady home to the Pats, and Aaron Rodgers home to the Bills. I like Matt Ryan here for 2 reasons. 1, they're at home. And 2, he's been wild efficient in the red zone. Like I said earlier. Oh, I got to finish this up. We're at 9:58. Good God, up against the wall. Rodgers, just sketchy with the knee. I mean, I like him. He could throw 6 here, but no thanks. And Brady, they like to pound it in the red zone now, run the ball. I just like Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's throwing a lot in the red zone, and he's accurate, and he's crushing it in the red zone. I want to keep riding that hot hand. 2 lightning rounds. Mike Evans at Chicago. Yikes. Mike Evans is getting a ton of targets, though. So he's at 115. Give me 109. Love that number, and love the way he's being used. Like, just go get it. Good matchups, back shoulder throws. That's where I want to be using Mike Evans. Use his size. Nobody wants Mike Evans for his route running. Use his size and go make plays. Cam Robinson needs torn ligaments. That's terrible. The last one's Julio Jones, home to Cincinnati. John Brown had a nice game against the Bengals. Funchess had a decent game against the Bengals. Who else played the Bengals and had good passing days? It's escaping me right now, but Julio could go off even as the, not touchdown option. Give me 123, 1, 2, 3, just like that. ABC 1, 2, 3, 8 to 10. You and me live stream in APP. That's the app. Android and Apple devices. It's your boy Rick Rosen. That's what we're doing. Waiver Wednesday on a Tuesday. Hopefully we filled you with some delicious football knowledge, and we'll keep the schedule going through the week. Video out tomorrow, video up Thursday, video up Saturday, video up Monday, stream Thursday, stream Sunday. This face, all up in your face. Good Morning Boom, IGTV. Follow, like, share, subscribe, and thank you for watching and being a part of what we do. Let's play the theme song. Take us out here. God, I love it. I really can't get enough. It's my boy Chuck Salamone. It's my childhood friend who wrote my theme song. I know a lot of the Boom viewers don't really know much about my life, but Chuck lived down the street from me. And, is this playing? Yeah, okay. And now I get to play his song like multiple times a day. I love it. Creative individual, just like me. We're too blessed to be stressed. I love it. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Wait for that bangs. Yeah. I'm gonna rock out on this. Maybe you guys can hear the second half on Thursday. But for me, this bridge is about to be all me. Get at me. Family show. Boombox. I'll see you guys on Thursday.